Miss Tina Cannon, how are you?
If I was any better, I don't know what I'd do.
So I found you actually on the Barbecue Showdown on Netflix a couple months ago, and honestly, I've been impressed, and honestly, how you've integrated your chef experience into barbecuing. Like that's something that's crazy because you're starting to see that a lot with people, trying different things, and but you still do a lot of traditional stuff too. So I'm a super huge barbecue nerd, so I just want to talk about this whole journey.
Yeah, well, I can't say that I'm a nerd because I associate nerdism with like technical stuff.
Okay, got you.
But on the show, it was a lot different than like what I normally cook it.
Yeah.
As far as contest and at home. Matter of fact, totally different. I still can't believe I won.
Yeah. Hey, it was impressive, very impressive for sure.
Well, thank you.
So how did you get into this into the chef world? I guess we'll start there.
Chef world, I went to culinary school and lived in Europe while I was in school for 3 years. And that's how I, became a chef and started working in the culinary industry really young. But if you go way back, when I was in school, we used to take a home ec class.
Yeah.
Where you learn
how
to sew a button on and how to sew and how to cook basic stuff. And that just really sparked my interest in cooking, even though my mom will swear I never cooked anything. But it was because, you didn't, back when I was younger, you didn't bring your kids in the kitchen. You pretty much do your homework, you come to dinner, you go to, take a bath, go to bed. So, now everybody does everything with their kids, which is cool, That kind of probably sparked my interest. And then, my grandfather actually, he raised 5 kids by himself. So he always would let me in the kitchen, to stand up on one of those old retro stools, and, fiddle around with him. And then also Girl Scouts / Boy Scouts. It was all not one when I was younger. And I didn't want to do like daisy chains and, make all that, crepe paper stuff and all that. So I would always, when we'd be at camp, we always wanted to not mess around with the guys, but, go over and they're, cooking stuff on the fire, that could be taken different, and hang out over there. And even today, 99% of my friends are all guys. I know that seems weird, but, because I'm into just different stuff. I'm not I do like my makeup and lipstick, that kind of stuff, but I like being outside. I like to cook, I like to be around people that are cooking. Like when I cook hogs, the more the merrier. Come on.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Netflix show did make me look like I didn't know how to do a lot of that. Editing is a wonderful thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Now, I have never built a pit before.
Yeah.
So I had to rely on Ashley on that, and God bless him. My pit that I have at my house now is nothing like that one, because I learned from the way that one was built that I don't necessarily want to be down in the dirt shoveling through a hole this big.
Yeah.
I made mine more similar to what Rashid had built. I don't know where he got all the metal parts for doors and stuff like that, because if you watch the show, none of that was on my palette. I had, and the chicken wire thing, I didn't think about that because I really didn't know Ashley was going to be leaving and I possibly have to turn that thing by myself. And I rewatched it and the chicken wire was there. I guess, it was dark, I didn't see it, whatever, but now I do use chicken wire. Because if I'm by myself, I have to, try to flip it over,
Yeah.
If I give a class though, usually people want to be involved and help me though.
I got you. So you have a center block pit now that is in your backyard that you use just for hog?
Yeah. I can cook other things on it, but typically I can cook about 2 90-pounders at one time.
Okay. Got you.
Or one really large, 250 or whatever on it. But I've got several grills and smokers.
What's your
Have a collection.
You got to. You got to.
Yeah.
Each one of them has its own purpose. I use a
That's right.
yeah, I use a pull behind pit on a trailer. It's pretty big.
Mhm.
I've done hogs on it before. I don't have a stationary cinder block pit, but I have a
Mhm.
pit balls and a regular, offset smoker, and I have a little tailgate grill that I love. It's a little tailgate smoker. I take that thing
Oh,
everywhere. So if I just
who's
want to
that from?
it's Old Country Barbecue Pits.
Oh,
They
I'm not familiar with those.
it's awesome. I
You know,
love it.
if I go somewhere, I take the trusty Smoky Mountain with me.
Okay, yeah.
But I
heck yeah.
have pellet smokers, and I have a mini max, but if I want to do a big long, I can't carry my XL green egg
Right.
with me on that. I
We're
want to
talking-
crack it.
We're talking all this technical talk. People probably don't know what we're talking about. It's all good though. Yeah. So
Well, they can write me and ask me.
there you go. For those people who may not know about anything to do with barbecue, a lot of people see barbecue and they just think ribs. You know what I mean? A lot of people hear
Mhm.
that and they don't know, like, there's so much that goes into it. And there's so many types of food that falls into that category.
And different kind of ribs.
Oh yeah. You
Yeah.
guys, you got your, of
Yeah.
course. That's a lot of people. They just say, I like ribs. What kind do you like? You like St. Louis style? You like baby back? Do you like spare, full spare? What do you like? These people.
Do you like beef ribs? Do
Yeah,
you
beef
like?
ribs too. That's another thing. See what beef ribs are amazing. Gosh. There's not a lot
So
of people
on the show, I don't know if you watched that. Kevin loves my beef ribs.
Yeah.
I was very flattered by that. You know what I used on it?
you did you use a red wine on that?
Yeah, I did put some in it, but the seasoning was salt, pepper.
And yours.
Yeah, but the thing is, I couldn't bring this,
Yeah,
so
you
I
gotta
had
make
to
it.
go in the room and mix it up myself.
That
you
just
know.
tells me that you know what's in your seasoning.
Well, yeah, why wouldn't it? It's
Hey,
mine.
Hey, some people just white label stuff. You never know. You know what I mean?
Oh no, and my hot sauce coming out. No, we went back and forth, and I mean that's 100% my recipe.
What kind of peppers? What kind of peppers gonna be in this hot sauce?
Fresnos.
Okay.
I grow a lot of those, and they're one of my favorites.
Okay.
I love, I love Tabasco's, you're in Louisiana,
Yeah.
but it does have a distinct flavor that will like change, stuff a lot. But mine has a distinct flavor too. And it is aged, but not in a barrel to give it that flavor.
Well, tell me this. So you got into before the barbecue. So you were doing how did you get into? You went to culinary school. When you come out of culinary school, did you go into restaurant? What happened there?
Well, I mean, I've worked in hotels and restaurants. I spent some time, in Europe, of course, working in various.
How did that happen? Coming from Georgia, how did you end up in Europe in culinary school?
Crazy, huh?
Yeah.
I don't know, probably a rebellious teenager. Because my mom would tell you I didn't cook. I think I just, think about when you think about a career. My dad was in the insurance industry. My mom was in the real estate industry my whole life. And it's like, there's like insurance. Everybody hates it, right?
Yeah.
Dad's in heaven, sorry. And I just wanted to do something that everybody liked. And who doesn't like food, right? Yeah. And then if you watch a show I was on in 2014 called American Grilled, and you have to watch that on, I don't know, Amazon TV, and it's on some other things like that. So I won that, and $10,000, I believe. And that was kind of the start of me. I was already barbecuing, but that was kind of the start of me really, really getting into it, because I finally accepted myself, because women church pretty much was not. It took me a few years, and I thought once I did that, I kind of knew, I think I got something here, and it was against all guys. One of them not pretty known. Ray Lampy was one of the judges,
Okay.
So, but in the culinary field, it's just something positive to do. But let's digress. On that show, they said I was a floral designer. Yeah. Magic of TV, that was Travel Channel, Discovery Network. And I actually do that too. I have an
Okay.
aunt that's pretty famous in that industry with like magazine covers and working for a lot of really well-known people. And I used to help her out. And I just have a knack for it. And at that time, I guess they chose that to use as rather than a chef, you know, and they can choose that because I was doing that, you know, half of my income was coming from that. So I do have that talent. I did all the weddings with the Ritz Hotel for several years. Did pretty famous people's weddings. So,
Awesome.
you know, I still like it, and I still volunteer and like help out some charities or some other things, you know, when they need some floral work done. And then here I'm at Meals on Wheels where I cook, you know.
Okay, awesome. I didn't know that. Awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, this isn't my home kitchen, even though I have a filming kitchen and a regular kitchen and an outdoor kitchen and a barbecue trailer kitchen. You know, I never run out of kitchen, but here is where we cook, you know, for, I don't know if you're familiar with Meals on Wheels.
Yeah.
Oh, well, good. You know, and we here in Coweta County, Georgia, where I live, we, you know, cook. We'll probably hit 50,000 meals this year.
Ooh.
And I want you to look in this kitchen. Who do you see?
The one and only. The one and only.
I do all that alone, all by
Damn
myself.
it. Really? And I'm over here stressing about a 230 people job that I got Sunday.
Yeah.
You probably laughing at me.
No.
Oh man. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So I stopped just to talk to you. I got to do
that.
like 250 portions of meatloaf. That's what I got to finish up today.
There's probably a lot of people that deserve that waiting on that too. That's gonna be awesome.
Oh yeah. And then after COVID, of course, the numbers, you know, went up with people in need. Yeah. And then we had a horrific tornado, you know, here. March was a year ago, and I was actually away filming the Food Network show. I didn't even know it had happened. I flew back the day after, and just it was amazing to see the destruction. And we picked up, you know, quite a few people that we helped there, you know, to get through, to get meals. And we did not lose any production. Except the day that it hit. That was it.
Dang.
We still fed everybody. Yeah, we had people with wagons or carrying it through the town. You know, yeah, we still fed everybody.
What got you into this?
My mom used to deliver when I was younger for Meals on Wheels in the neighboring county. So I always, you know, knew what it was, and she always, you know, did that, you know, so many days every week. And then when my dad fell ill and had a brain injury and had to have 24-hour care, it made me realize even more of the importance of it. And I started donating all of my, I don't know if you compete also, but there's a lot of cull meat that you can't use.
Yeah.
Or you cook an overage, or when I have barbecue schools.
Right.
So I started donating here. And one day I got a message asking, hey, do you know anybody can help cook? You know, we're not going to have our cook anymore, you know. And I said, well, what about me? And I've been here ever since.
There you go. You stay busy then. Heck yeah.
Yeah, never a dull moment in my life.
Yeah. I've been barbecuing probably 5 years now, and I started doing it for golf tournaments and stuff. Just a good way to meet people because I have a marketing company. So the network, I'd barbecue, and I've always cooked, worked at barbecue place when I was in high school. And then I just recently started a catering company about a year ago. That's like a side hustle of mine that I like to do every weekend because I'm already barbecuing every weekend anyways. Might as well feed some people, make some money, you know.
Looks like you might work out a little bit.
Yeah, I do a little bit of that too, you know.
Yeah.
But
in your free time.
Yeah, I did do my first competition a couple months ago. It's a big competition. It qualifies for one of the
Jack World Food.
Yeah, I believe so. It's Grilling on Main. It's in Minden, Louisiana, but I believe there's 50 competitors in that. I placed like 12th in one category, I believe. I'm happy with that. You know what I mean?
That's great. For your first competition, what was the division? KCBS or SBCA?
So it's BCA.
BCA.
BCA. Yeah, BCA. And I believe, I think I did 12th and I think we got 12th in chicken and like 14th in ribs. And then brisket was great, but It depends on the judges too. You know what I mean? Like it always depends on the judges. We did a Wagyu brisket. I was excited about that because I've never done one.
Ooh, they get
but-
done a lot quicker, don't they?
Yeah. And God, though, it's so juicy. You don't have to worry about, you can let it sit for a minute and still not dry. When usually with regular brisket, if you cut it and it's separated long, it's going to dry out.
Yeah.
But well, let's talk about that. So what was your first barbecue competition? When did you do your first?
It was in Lake Martin, Alabama.
How long ago?
It was right around the very end of 2009 or 2010. I'm trying to remember.
So you cooked for,
we'll say 2010.
How long had you barbecued before you, not specifically chef, but barbecued before you entered that competition?
Well, I've grilled and all that since I was young, but as far as, I don't know, maybe, I had a smoker. I don't know, probably. I've always grilled.
Yeah.
But smoky meat's definitely different. I would probably say only truly by myself a few years, maybe 5 years, just piddling, like putting some ribs on or something, like that, but not anything. And it was just a freak thing that I decided to do the contest. You want to know? Every interview has probably asked that question, but I'll tell you want to know.
Yeah.
I had my roof being put on. We had a huge storm and I had a new roof being put on my house, and it was another storm was rolling through. So I was cooking for the team there, the people that were putting the roof on. A dozen people there trying to get it done. So I had a Brinkman water smoker, if I'm allowed to say a brand. And I got it. We got that from points on a hotel card or something like that. We're like, well, we got luggage, we got toasters, we got a microwave. We'll get a smoker. So I cooked beef ribs and pork, chicken, beef ribs, and I think pork butts was it. And the guy came to get his $10,000 check, and I invited him to stay. To eat, right? If you drop by and I'm eating, come on, get a plate. And so he sat down. Of course, he fixed him a plate and got seconds, and he kept asking my husband, "Hey, this is really good." My husband said, "Well, my wife made it." Anyway, he ignored me, and so finally he went to his truck and brought an application and handed it to my husband about this contest. He said, "God, you should go and enter. It's in Lake Martin, Alabama." So I filled it out and I went and I won.
Look at that.
But I don't think I got a call again for a long time. Maybe it was just the group. It was a small contest, but we were against some teams that, had all the rigs. Yeah. I had one smoker, didn't know that I had to do 4 meats.
Yeah.
Who I did. And then I didn't have a pop-up and it was raining. So we had to go buy one at the big box store. We had no idea. We just showed up and thought, we're going to cook some whatever. No. So we went to the local big box store and picked up the rest of the meat and ended up, and I think I got a perfect score in pork.
That's awesome.
Yeah. But like I said, I don't remember when it happened again. I'd have to check out my stats or ask my husband. He's the numbers guy. I'm not, he's the technical director for sure on that stuff. But I think it was a while before I even got anything in top 10 call at all.
Really?
I think my next contest was also in Alabama, Lynette, Alabama. And I took a class from some friends of mine that no longer compete. And they did at a community center, a little class. It was $10 a head. So my husband drove down there and we competed. We thought, well, we can do that, So I bought, and I think I had 4 when I decided that I was I'm going to do this, weekends. I bought 4 Weber Smoky Mountains. That's before I realized that you could cook. And that was the chefy in me, not letting cross contamination and all that. Now chicken, I still do totally separate because but the other meats I don't worry about so much now, because it doesn't, it's not a problem. But and the way I put them in is staggered so much, but I cook chicken, totally different.
Yeah,
But,
that's something most people don't understand is that like a competition, like you have to cook 3 meats and
Yeah.
they're all very different.
We have to do
Or
four.
four,
in
yeah,
case he
3,
missed.
yeah, 4. Like I think pulled porks are what the people's choice. So the last one I did was 4, but still staggering those things. And I did it all on one pit, big, my big pool behind it.
Yeah.
That's a pain in the ass,
Yeah, it's hard, because I cook, this year I haven't cooked quite as much because, in competition, because I've had a lot, of other things going on, some other opportunities that have been awarded to me, which is, awesome. And, I donate proceeds here to Meals on Wheels. So it's allowing me to help out more here too. And, they're really great when I have to travel. I make sure all the food's cooked. I'm probably the only person that cooks for that many people and then goes on my vacation or on a business trip. I make sure everybody's fed. I look at all these people as, like I'm responsible for feeding them, so I want to make sure I cook what they, what they need and what they want. They seem to like it. I've been here a while now,
Heck yeah. Well, like on the competition spectrum, yeah. Like I was because I don't ever get to talk about it, but yeah, we'll talk about it. Like, so how it works for people who are listening, they don't know. Typically it's a 2-day deal. And if you start on a Friday night, the first thing you have to put on is your brisket, because that's going to be 14 hours, or 20 hours, just depending on how big it is. And
and how fast you cook.
Right.
Can you cut right now for a second?
Yeah.
Can you? Okay. Let me put people in. He's, we get a lot of donors and things like that.
I got you. Yeah. So what I was talking about basically is, you start the night before. It's a 2-day competition. You have 4 meats, typically brisket, pork butt, ribs, chicken, and each one of those have a different time window. And a lot of people will understand that it's not so much to win overall is an extremely big deal. So the fact that you've done that multiple times is just, hey, because it's very hard to do. It's very hard to do if you have one cooker, but it also is very hard to do, like, just to make sure every single thing that you're cooking is perfect, and watch it constantly, watch your temperatures, not being
and
at
make
home,
it look pretty too.
that too, presentation, like not being at home in your controlled environment where you're used to cooking. There's always an element, there's an element change or something, or some kind of way to throw everything off, it's just it's interesting. So it's very, I've just gotten into the community. I'm helping we put one on a couple of months ago for charity as well. I like it. I have fun with it. I think it's something that a lot of people need to get more involved in if they enjoy barbecue. Not so much having to compete, but just come out and participate and hang out, and walk around, try the food. That's the fun part too, is getting to actually do a people's choice part, presenting.
People's choices. Statistically, though, people joke about that. If you win people's choice, it's like the kiss of death in your other categories.
Yeah.
And it doesn't necessarily pay as much either.
Right.
So, but what's there? How in the BCA? How I can't remember. I know I've competed in the past. How long is in between each meet?
Oh man, I can't remember the last one we did. Like typically the turn in for brisket was like maybe 10 a.m. and then the turn in for pulled pork maybe 11. I can't remember. And then you would have like a couple hour gap in between each one.
Oh, really? That much?
Yeah.
That's what a lot of people that new to competition. I teach this in my schools. KCBS is an hour in between.
Yeah.
And you have chicken first, ribs,
pulled pork, it was an hour. It was, you're right.
10-minute window.
Yeah, it was an hour. You're right. It was an hour because you were
having. And then FBA is 30 minutes.
Whoa.
The Florida division. And then the GBA, which I've, only cooked a handful of them, and I, 600's a perfect score. I think I have 3, that when you cook different meats, it's all pork. It's pork butts, it's pork loin, and pork ribs. And they come back again. Like you make finals and they come back again. So you better be cooking when you turn your first one in if you make finals, because they let usually in 30 minutes, and then they come and do an on-site visit.
Nice.
Yeah. Huh. So I don't know why my thing is doing that. I think somebody's trying to call me.
We're in there. We're still good.
Okay.
But no, I think I couldn't remember the order. Yeah, you're right. Chicken first, and then so it goes down. But yeah,
Because there's the IBCA that does everything by a draw of a ticket. It's totally blind. They draw a ticket and they say, ticket number, blah, 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 you won ribs.
That's how we did it. That's how we do it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So they don't know.
And then their judges are different. There can be off the street.
Yeah. Yep. That's how it is. That's
right. The public, which to me is fantastic.
I like it.
KCBS, they're trained judges, certified judges, and it's a very different cook. It's more like regional, like what's popular in your area. Like from what I understand in Louisiana, y'all eat a little more heat. I cook in a big event there every year in New Orleans called Hogs for the Cause.
Yes, yes. I want to come down there next year. Also,
cook for a big team there. I do all their meats.
Heck yeah.
Yeah. Well, you will see me there, and it's a different flavor profile as in KCBS or GBA, which is Georgia Barbecue Association, which is pretty sweet, and then Texas. If you cook in the Texas contest, the brisket's very, very different, as far as depends on the organization. And for people that aren't familiar, it's like quad A ball versus, triple A, the different, little bit different rules and different flavor profile in each one. And you got to be prepared to do that. I have a book that has my timeline for GBA, FBA, KCB, all the different divisions, as well as recipes that I use for each one of those. And then when I've had people come and want to learn FBA timelines, or just how to cook a hog for turn in, or just to cook it for, Easter Sunday, whatever. So, I try to, when I do classes, you should come and
I want to
just hang out. I have a hog class coming up. I'm starting a new on my website. It's not on there yet. I'm hoping it will be loaded as soon as I give my people to, because I'm not technical, to put in the dates. But I have a hog class coming up. I think it's the 10th of December. I'd have to make sure. It's like the 2nd, and that's a 2-day class, but I'm going to tie that in with someone that on the Friday, you're going to get a bonus of while the hog gets put on to learn a whole nother thing that's SCA based.
Okay.
And SCA?
No.
That's the state competition. And they're becoming really popular now because it's not so expensive, with prices, fuel, and buying all that meat. It's quite expensive, and it kind of butts the other cooks out, that doesn't do this for a living. So it allows for them to show up, cook a steak, win or not win, and leave.
Yeah. That's awesome.
And so you still get that fun of, being with everybody and still competition.
Yeah.
But not as much money.
Yeah, the steak stuff's fun. We're putting, I've judged one, I haven't competed in one, but I'm putting one on in November here. But we did this last one we did for charity, which everyone was excited about. I didn't realize wasn't a thing. We had all the meat donated, which was great.
Oh, fantastic.
So I did a non-traditional tournament. I just did chicken and ribs because it was a one-day tournament, and I wanted to get local people involved, and I had the meat donated. So it gave a little different demographic of people who were able to come participate, who may not been doing it for a living.
Yeah.
So it was fun. But yeah, I'd love to come attend that, because honestly, it's just interesting to me how you were talking about flavor profiles in different areas. Every single person, depending on where you're at, because a lot of people are listening and watching this podcast or nationwide, depending on where you are, you're going to like barbecue. You're going to relate barbecue to a different flavor than someone else.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And me, I like a mix between a Texas and a Kansas City. I don't know, or maybe a Georgia. I like a mix between it's weird. I don't like a lot of sauce, but I do like flavor. So if that makes sense, I don't.
Well, you live in Louisiana.
Yeah.
That's flavor to the max. There.
I don't want mine drenched in sauce. I don't want it to look like mush. But
I like to taste the meat.
Right, but I also don't want it too dry to where I need to drink, this much water with it while eating it. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, I think it is interesting. I'm not a big Carolina taste. I'm the vinegar. Real thick vinegar, I'm not a big fan, but I do use a lot of apple cider vinegar to break down my pork butt. I cook a lot of pork butts.
Yeah,
that's what I want to ask you about. How do you do your pork butts?
have a class coming on.
Yeah.
You know, actually, I posted a video this morning of just starting to trim it competition, and I missed my mark on posting the next step to it
Uh-huh.
and the next step to it. But, you know, in competition and at home, I do very little to mine. And I don't use hickory, which is unusual. Most people like to use hickory
use
here
pecan.
in my area predominantly. What do you use?
Pecan. That's all I
Me
use.
too.
All I use is pecan. Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
I'll
love
use- I'll use
pecan.
some
Every
oat.
now and then
I'm
I'll
not-
hit the very end of it
Yeah.
with a little hickory. So for judging, they open the box, they get that width.
Yeah.
You know, but otherwise, I mean, I like hickory, but you know, if I compete on a gravity smoker, you know, I don't know if you're familiar. And for those that don't know, it is like a big box, and you put charcoal in the top of a chute, and the gravity feeds the fire, and wood goes underneath on it. So as the, you know, charcoal hits it, it gives off smoke. So that kind of gives you just a general idea. But I compete on a gravity fed. So they don't get quite as smoky as like your pull behind. A
Right.
stick burner pull behind
Yeah.
or a offset or reverse flow, or you're always going to get much more smoke flavor. So I started finishing with a little bit, you know, when I tack up the sauce, to, you know, using a little bit of hickory to get that aroma. You know, and a lot of people go into barrels now on the competition circuit.
I noticed that.
And I'm just not, I mean, I can cook on a barrel. I mean, you watched me do it. I think I won that category, but, you know, I'm just not a hot and fast cook here in my heart. I know that's weird. You know, I like the process of hanging out. You know, if you come over and we hang out, we prep them. And I just like the slow breakdown. I do admit on the show, as you saw, I had to do a big brisket in what, 5.5 hours. I mean, it can be done. And you know what? I had never cooked really hot and fast like that until that show. And I was so surprised at the outcome of that brisket. It wasn't enough to make me change my whole cooking method, you know? Because it's kind of part of what I do at a contest. I like to walk around and talk to people, say, well, you're hot and fast, you know, you just show up, and, you know, I like that social part of it. You know, I'm a real social person, you know, even though I live in the boonies, not around anybody, but that's just, it's part of it to me. It's the camaraderie, sitting around talking, have a beverage, whatever that may be, you know, add wood. I love that.
Yeah.
And it was a big change to get me to switch to a gravity fed. I mean, the guy that builds them for me, you know, frequently I would always go and compete with him, and he cooks on a water smoker, which cooks like, if people follow Myron Mixon, that's typically what he uses as a water smoker, which is a hotter and faster cook.
Yeah.
So I had cooked with him many times, but it just I said, can you just build me one of your regular smokers? And he did. It looks just like it, but it has no water pan in the bottom. And in my theory, I know, like in my gravity fed, when I open up that chute, you know, to put more charcoal, it's dripping with moisture.
Yeah.
You know, to me, the water pan, there's a school of thought, and I know I'll get some hate for this, that it adds more moisture to your meat. I disagree.
Yeah.
Because I have did a side-by-side cook, because meat, just like your body, is how much percent water. And if you're in a gravity fed control thing, it's not losing it. So I don't subscribe to that thought.
Yeah.
And they can email me and hate me and send me whatever. You know what? Barbecue is what you like and what works for you, what your family likes. And if you're competing, what the judges like.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm in one of those, what is it, meat church congregation. They're always talking shit to each other about this one doesn't have enough smoke ring. I'm like, dude, look, if it tastes good, whatever.
Yeah.
If you're competition,
and you know, in a smoke ring in competition is not supposed to be judged, but it's so hard not to see that. We associate that with part of the flavor. But I've had meat that didn't have a smoke ring that was over smoked.
Yeah.
You know, because they used, you know, wet wood or had a dirty smoker or, you know, whatever. So I I just don't subscribe. I mean, I love a smoke ring because it's so pretty. I look on my Instagram and TikTok and Facebook, and I've got a lot of pictures of smoke ring. And I mean, I like it. I mean, you eat with your eyes too.
Yeah.
But I mean, that can be creative with using the right kind of salt.
Yeah.
When I was in culinary school, we had to take classes, and I also volunteered at the local culinary school on like being able to make pictures like food. We have to take one class on that and how manipulated that's done. I mean, that's really easy to do.
Yeah.
Just get you some, nitrate based salt, and there you go. Get it on there.
Well, yeah, I think that, I mean, I think there's so much that goes into it, and what people don't understand, like the argument over this smoker is better than this one, or, doing stick, or doing the people that hate on I'm a stick guy. I'm always going to be a stick guy. Call me old school or a barbarian. I recently got a new pellet smoker, and I'm trying to figure it out. It cooks way quicker. Way quicker. Like, and I'm getting used to that because I've been almost overcooking everything. I'm like, shit, I'm having to watch it close because I'm just a stick guy. My grill's a big old pull behind, and it loses a lot of smoke. It gets a lot of smoke, but it loses a lot too, and but yeah, I enjoy using pecan. I'm not a fan of hickory. I might throw some in there. I love to have fruit wood when I can, especially with pork. But my pork butts, I prep them quick and easy. I just inject them, apple cider vinegar, apple juice, and then rub them with the rub I like, and that's it, and roll with it.
Yeah. The contest that I have did the best in, and including at World Food Championships, you know what I put on my butts?
What?
Salt.
Just salt. Damn, really? That's interesting. With pecan?
People don't believe me, but
with pecan?
Yep.
Damn. Huh. I mean, hey, I've done a brisket.
If I cater, I don't do that a lot, but like, sometimes I do for Meals on Wheels events. When I pull it, I might put a little something in there.
Yeah.
I taste it to see if it needs enough salt in the inside. I'll use, like a seasoning, I have my own things that I mix up.
Right.
But maybe one day I'll produce those too.
But
the smoke and the wood permeates the meat. I don't need it, and I do let it sit a long time with salt on it, and I use non-iodized salt or kosher salt.
Okay.
That's the secret I won't make y'all pay for.
Do you how about your chicken brine? Are you a fan of brining too? How many?
The other day, you saw, I was preparing a chicken and I did brine it. In contests, I do not. I do more of a dry brine method, which is, for those that don't know, is where you put your seasoning on and let the chicken sit. And I use, something that has quite a lot of salt. So it creates like osmosis, and the flavor goes inside the meat. Versus a traditional brine, where it's soaked in a salt and whatever solution. Now, turkeys, I do that.
Yeah, I do turkey leg.
Like I do a turkey class, but my turkeys take 2 days.
Damn.
To do. Yeah, damn. Because of the method that I did.
Yeah. No, but I mean,
I have if you looked at my website,
I've looked at it leading up to
that
this.
turkey brine recipe that's on there. You should try. It's good with chicken too.
I'll try.
You just have to adjust your time. I'll tell you what, I always, I'm cooking and trying all kinds of different stuff all the time. I still go back for especially holiday time to that. I just can't break it. I just can't. It's too, when you get, it's like, it's too good. I'm not changing it.
You're not eating a deep fried turkey, are you?
No.
Me either. I'm not a fan.
But I have to cook 2 turkeys because some of my family likes, I don't have kids, but cousins and everybody, they like smoked turkey. And then my mom and a couple other family members like the traditional cooked turkey. I will brine it exactly the same, but I'll smoke one and then bake another. That way everybody's happy.
Yeah.
And then you got to make cornbread stuffing with extra sage. There we go.
Yeah. Well, tell me what's in this seasoning you got going on.
Oh, and my European blend?
Yeah.
Well, let's read the ingredient. No, it's got, only 20 milligrams of sodium.
Okay.
And it's also gluten-free. I know a lot of people watch that with their kids. It's not spicy, but it does have some black pepper in it. And it's got marjoram and basil, savory, lavender. I know, just a little bit. And people will tell you it does not taste the same on anything. If you kind of read comments sometimes on my IG or yes, and it does not. You could cook it on shrimp today and chicken tomorrow, and it doesn't taste the same. Or potatoes, the twice the thing, we take the little new potatoes and you smash them, then put them in the broiler or on like a tray on your smoker. So good on that. The only thing I haven't liked it on is ice cream.
Oh man, I'm gonna pass on that one.
No, it's not good on that. I'm gonna see if I can. I don't know if you can see the texture.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
And you know how we commonly, when we taste a barbecue rub, we open it and go like that.
Yeah.
This does not work like that because it's not like salt. This has to, what I call bloom. I don't know the right word. Put it on whatever you're going to cook while you heat your grill up or your oven or whatever, pan up. So the moisture in whatever you're cooking makes the oils activate in it. Maybe activate's a better word.
There you go.
Then bloom. Bloom can be my feminine term. The activate can be my male. And then you just let it sit a few minutes, almost like a dry brine, but this doesn't have to sit like overnight or anything. And then grill it, fry it. You can put it in like chicken batter, fish fry batter. I mean, I'm proud of it.
Yeah.
I'm really proud of it, and I've used this for years and years and years. It's just after the show when I thought, maybe I should produce that. And I asked my husband, my mom, they're like, yeah, so I had to like make it up and then find someone that would make it exactly like I had it. Because, for instance, you go to, I don't know what your local grocery store is, then you buy like, say, the store brand parsley or whatever.
Yeah.
And then you buy McCormick, if I'm allowed to say a brand.
Yeah,
and then you
whatever.
buy Tones, or you buy, and then you can mix up the same recipe. It's not the same because the way they're dried, how old they are. So I wanted something a company that would use like the fresh, like fresher, not something that's been stored for, 5 years in a warehouse, and then blend it, which is, the way things happen. So it took a while. I really wanted it to come out sooner, closer to the show date, but, I wasn't going to accept it until where I could close my eyes and smell it and remember when I created it years ago, why I did. And it's being in Europe, people, it's like being in like New York and some of those cities, people go shopping daily. They have herb shops where you buy your spices and herbs. And I remember walking in there when I was in France and thought, wow, it was just the group of everything, how it smelled. And this reminds me of that. So every time I can sit here at this one's not open, but I have them in the cabinet here in my kitchen over there. Sometimes I just open it and smell it. Just such a good memory, and I'm glad that I'm able to share it with people. Yeah. And 100% of the proceeds goes to Meals on Wheels.
Really?
Not 1%, 100%.
That's awesome.
I figure I'm blessed and I'm really been lucky in life, and I'd rather pass it on.
Yeah. Hey, that's awesome. No, I gotta try some. I'll order some today actually because I need to try some.
Yeah. I should mail you some, but any profit goes directly to them. I don't. It gets deposited. I don't even see it.
Yeah, so, I'm definitely buying something. I don't send me any. I want to buy it and give them some money.
All right. Well, hopefully when my hot sauce gets finished, I'll get like the final batch. I hope you like hot sauce. I mean, you're in Louisiana. Am I going to be stereotypical?
I put that shit on everything. Is that what they say?
You know what? That's what's holding me up. I have to come up, like you have to have, taglines or words, to put up. That's really what's holding me up in production. I haven't decided on label description because I love that one and it's taken because I put it on. Oh my God, eggs and everything. I really do. That I like hot sauce on. So it makes some great wings, and the color I don't have a bottle here. I think everybody ate it. I was going to show you. It's like, Fresno's have a really pretty deep red
Yeah.
color that I like. So, it really makes some good looking wings.
Oh, I bet.
And I love to mix it like with honey and
Yeah.
drizzle it on like fried chicken.
Oh shit. Oh yeah.
Yeah. You said it, not me.
So you're cooking full-fledged meals every day for Meals
Every day.
on Wheels, and then you're
Mhm.
just, I guess, as you have time aside from all your endeavors, you're still doing some competition stuff and you're teaching classes.
Yeah, I teach a
And
lot of classes,
What
and
what else
I do a
you
lot
got
of
going
other
on?
charity stuff. I have a
Okay.
contest in Trenton, Georgia, September. It's like the second Saturday of September, where I'm been I hate saying this word, celebrity judge.
Yeah.
For a contest, but it's for a charitable event. Most of the charities I'm heavily involved in are more adult type charities. I'm not a mom, so that hasn't touched me.
Gotcha.
Not that there's anything wrong with that, but I think I've just like more elder care. This particular group is a group that when people get out of jail and they have to try to readapt to life, that kind of thing, helps with that. And then the Hogs for a Cause, where I'll see you.
Yes.
Um,
I'm going.
You know what that's for then, pediatric brain cancer. And I cook in that because I have a chef that has since passed away that impacted my life so much, what I've learned from him when I was cooking in New Orleans in the quarter. And he lost his son to pediatric brain cancer, and the trickle down of that, he and his wife ended up splitting up, and he ended up taking his own life. It destroyed his family.
Yeah.
That loss of that child and financially. So when I had the opportunity to go cook with the team called Piggy Stardust there, and we were 1/10 of a point from winning pork there out of 93 teams, I'll just say. But anyway, and I can't remember in the teens I was in hog, and my hog was delivered to me still frozen. So
Dang.
this year I'm gonna kick it. But that touched my life so much for being able to be, because I don't, the money goes to charity. It's
Right.
not, and we raised like that event alone, I think it was 2.6 or 2.8 million
Yeah, it was
last year.
huge this year because of the COVID shutdown and coming back. It was huge.
Yeah.
I
Because
wanna,
I've been we moved over to is it called Belle Meade? Across the river. And then we came back to New Orleans proper, and we'll be in New Orleans proper again.
I don't even
I
know.
love that event. It is so much fun. If people are looking for something to do,
Yeah.
it is, where a lot of barbecue contests, at least KCBS, GBA, and all this, you can't eat competition barbecue.
Yeah. No.
They're there to win.
Yeah.
This event is so much fun. People in New Orleans are fun anyway, but it's a big family thing. It's not New Orleans like, people are doing that, but it is so fun. At night, I would say it was more of an adult thing, and knowing that all of us there, the thousands of people that come to that event and all of the teams, what we're doing for people. And when you go to the cooks meeting and you see what the money you're helped raise, I tell you, I took my husband with me last year, and he's not a very sensitive God. When he listens to this, he's going to be mad. But tears welled up in his eyes. It was it's one of the best events, other than what I consider I do here for Meals on of ever. And that's the only children's charity I do things for. It's the best event I could say I've ever done.
That's awesome. Well, yeah,
I can't wait.
I'm putting together a team. We're trying to get it together, get it all together.
Okay. Well, if I can advise you or help you, you got my email, you got my phone number.
Yeah.
I'd be glad to.
Oh,
And I
I'm
always go a
definitely
couple
gonna be there.
days before and a couple days after, because I love to visit with the other
Yeah.
teams and go out and eat and hang out, whatever. Let me know, and that would be fantastic.
Yeah, we're going.
You're gonna love it.
I saw it last year. Yeah, I saw it and everything, and I knew a couple people that went. I was like, I couldn't make it that in short of a window, and then missed registration. So now I got a team together. I think I got them all lined out. We're gonna be there. I'm going for sure. It looks amazing. My wife helps me too. she's not a cook. She don't like to cook. I cook, but she's learning and she's enjoying it. And I'm hoping to take her to that. It's gonna be something we can, me and a couple buddies, and maybe all get together and do this thing. It's gonna be fun.
Well, she won't feel like she's at like a regular barbecue
Right.
contest where she's at. There will be so many people, and she can, she can hang out with me, whatever. It is. I mean, it's an amazing event. I'm so glad that I'm part of it. Like, I have some takeovers. I'll be in like Austin, Texas in October, and I have a couple things with Swift. I'm doing a college football game coming up on the 3rd, I think, the first weekend of September. Then I'm doing an NFL game in North Carolina, and guess who's playing?
Who's that?
Besides North Carolina, the Saints.
Oh, damn.
Yes. So I'll be there doing a big tailgate with Swift meat. So I have a lot of things that I travel to and do, and that's how we pay the bills, those type of things. But it gives me, gosh, I hope that, it's nice to get a paycheck. Yes. But when you see what you've done for somebody else, like here, to me, it means so much more. I'm quite a bit older than you. I could be your mom.
No,
so,
I couldn't tell you.
I did the hustle. You know what I mean? I did all that. I've cooked for a living my entire life. So now I'm so happy that I'm at the opportunity at almost 60 now to be able to do for other people while I'm still healthier and strong enough to do it, and do for others. My theory, and I'm not, trying to get religious or anything. If you don't give to others, whatever that others to you, whether it's elderly, children, animals, whatever, because I also volunteer at the local animal shelter, you have to give in order to receive.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So I just look at it that way. And, my dad was a very giving person. My mom is I've had perfect examples, and I'm so lucky. And our director here for Meals on Wheels, non-paid job now. I would say she's here 100 hours a week.
Damn.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So, all of us here, we're givers.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's saying something. All these people out here with their 40-hour jobs bitching, and these people are over here putting 100 hours in and not getting paid for it.
Yeah, right.
I mean, you have to. It doesn't matter what your background is, whatever you believe in. It's very evident when you do good things happen.
That's exactly
bad things happen. That's what I always say. No matter what, we don't have to even get religious. It's one of those things.
Right,
good energy.
right. Karma.
That's
she
right.
Can be.
It exists.
You know what?
Yeah. Well,
my mom will listen. I got to, I don't want mom to say language. And that funny, as old as I am, and my mom's like,
she's on me. What's your
oh yeah.
What's your,
and it's hard to keep your language when you're a chef. Language in the kitchen is.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and my husband's from New Jersey, so.
Well,
he has a favorite word that they use there, but we won't say it. We won't say it.
What's one of your favorite? I guess what's your favorite meat to cook overall? If we're in a barbecue standpoint here.
That switches, I swear, with the season. I know that sounds weird.
No, that makes sense. No, that really.
I love like more beef probably in the winter.
Yes.
And it depends on what grill we use. Yeah, which smoker. I love beef ribs, and I love. Oh my gosh, I've got a new smoker you may have never heard of. From Baltimore. It's a Cletus.
No, I haven't.
It's a pellet and either an offset or a reverse flow.
Okay.
Yes. Combination.
Okay.
And I'm really liking that too, because I get that wood like you do on your pull behind.
Yeah.
But I get the ease of the pellet.
Okay.
I love that. It's I probably need to cook more on it and talk more about it, but I do love that. Gosh, like if it was today, I'd like to have a big old juicy pork butt like I started.
Oh, I love it.
Morning.
Yeah.
That's probably my best category. When I compete, but like I said, this season I haven't competed a lot because I've been doing all kinds of other stuff, But today it would be a pork butt because I just haven't had one in a while.
Yeah, I think I'm the same. I can always go back to I can cook that any day, and you know, make
Yeah.
tacos out of it, make sandwiches out of it, you know, do whatever you want, put it on some potatoes, do whatever you want to with it.
But I tell you, when the first hint of cold weather, just when it happens here, I love beef ribs.
Yeah. Well, I don't, it's
Short
like
rib.
we don't have a lot of I have to order beef, like they're just not sought after right. You know, everyone here likes pork ribs, I guess. And I can get beef ribs, but you just don't see them a lot. And when you see a good rack of them, I try to get some and cook them. I did some
You
recently.
probably cooking back ribs, right?
Yeah.
Try to get some short ribs.
Yeah,
what's
beef
your
short
big-
ribs.
Yeah,
Short ribs.
now those, you don't have to get them in a rack.
Yeah.
They usually come already cut, but if you can get a beef short rib rack,
Yeah.
they are so good. And I use my seasoning.
Heck yeah.
I
No.
mean, and I usually cook those on my egg, but I think I'm gonna use my other smoker I was telling you about, the Cletus, and do them. I haven't cooked beef ribs on it yet, so I'm kind of, even though I hate winter, I hate cold weather, I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love a good cold weather. I like when cold weather hits, I like to make a deer chili, a good deer chili.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I usually will grill some venison. I have a few people that give me back straps.
Yeah.
During the holidays, if I'm smoking stuff, you put these on for me. Yeah.
Yeah, I put it on there.
But you had to bring me one.
Yeah. Yeah. Heck yeah. Oh, that's funny. When you mentioned that earlier, we were talking about cooking hot and fast. I did you're always cooking and you're doing something, especially for an event, and somebody brings you something once you throw it on there. I did, the only time I've ever done a brisket hot and fast is someone had one thawed out. And so I just quartered it up.
Yeah.
And then I threw it in there at 350 when I was cooking. And and it cooked okay. And it cooked pretty quick. But that's the only time I've ever done one hot and fast. It turned out decent. We chopped it all up and made stuff out of, whatever.
The only time I did one hot and fast was on Netflix.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I haven't. I don't know why I haven't did it again. I mean, instead of wasting the whole day, but it's part of my day. Like I'm garden, working in my garden or hanging out in the pool, whatever. I plan it that way. But I mean, I can cook one that way, obviously, but I don't know. Maybe I need to adapt.
No, you're good. Keep doing what you're doing. It's working. It's working. Well,
as long as it's working.
I'm gonna wrap this thing up. I think I feel like I could talk. I could talk to you about barbecue for another 2 or 3 hours.
Yeah, well, you got my phone number.
Yeah,
you got my email. That's one thing too. I answer all my own stuff. Now, I used to get to it quicker. It usually takes me a couple days now, but I answer all my own stuff personally.
Well, that's good.
I just think that's the right thing to do. I have people now.
Comments.
I do have people now, which I didn't. I think you're the first person I told I have people now.
Okay.
But they're doing like this kind of technical stuff and helping with, shipping and all that. But I like to answer my own stuff.
Well, that's good.
Because I figure somebody's asking me for advice or how to do something or takes the time to write me, I should at least do the same thing back.
Yeah.
My mama taught me right.
Well, look, where can they find you at, and what do you want to plug? I know you got the hot sauce coming out. I guess that'll be introduced soon. You want?
Yeah, I'm hoping like soon as I figure the label out, what to say about it. You'd think I'd be able to do that easy the way that I yak, but everything, I'm on all social media, including TikTok and all that, under Tina Canning Cooks, because I can't remember all these different names.
Yeah,
I'm too old. And my website too is tinacanningcooks.com.
Okay.
So
cool.
that's where you can reach me. And again, you can email me or whatever.
And
seasoning and, hats and some other stuff. And then my hot sauce, when the day I know it's going to start shipping, I'll probably get on Instagram and Facebook and all that and let people know. Because I do ship internationally.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I send stuff to England. I mean, I got quite a few followers in other countries. I've shipped to Brazil. Got several people in the UK, that follow me. So I ship everywhere, whereas some companies you can't do that, but I can.
That's awesome. Good to know. Well, look, I've had a great time today. We're gonna have to do
Oh,
this
you're
again.
sweet.
And I definitely going to see you at the competition in New Orleans.
Yeah.
Because I'm, like I said, I'm putting together a team for that. I'm excited for that. We're going to have a good time. But thanks so much. And
You're
Hope you
sweet.
enjoyed it.
Well, let me know if you really are, if you do, or let me know what you think. I'd
I'm going
love to
to.
hear your honest,
I'm
but
putting it on
it's
a
not a
Wagyu.
barbecue.
No, I'm putting it
It's
on a
more of a
Wagyu
hot
steak.
and fast steak,
Yep.
you know, that kind of thing.
No, I have some Wagyu in the freezer right now that's got that name on it. So as soon as that comes in, I'm gonna try it on it. I'm gonna let you know.
All right. It probably take, like, if you ordered it today, it's been like taking about 5 days right
That's
now.
fine. Yeah.
You know, I've had to go into another round of production. So
Well, that's a good problem to have.
yay.
All right. Let's wrap this thing up.
All right.
All
Bye.
right. Bye.